I'm Bryan, and this is Mi Libro a Mi Manera. And this is Bajo el Agua, a reader for students with text entirely in Spanish. And this compelling story captures students' attention as they read page after page and chapter after chapter to find out what will happen next. It's a story about ghosts and unfinished business and love and forbidden relationships and acceptance and purpose. It contains thrilling chases through the city and adventures on the water. It highlights the beauty of Costa Rica and engages students with some of the challenges that the country faces. And the book is based on something that really happened in Costa Rica in 1976. In that year, the government decided to flood the area around the Arenal volcano to create a lake, Lake Arenal, and hydroelectric power for the country. When they flooded the area, there were two towns, Arenal and Tronadora, that were submerged under the water and lost forever. And the people of the towns knew what was going to happen, and they were able to get out in time, but they were forced to leave behind everything. They left their homes, their histories, even their ancestors in the cemeteries. And the people of Tronadora relocated up the hill and established a new town, which they called Nueva Tronadora. But as it says in the summary on the back of the book, what about those who never left? What about those who are still down there waiting? And in the book, we meet Sam, an exchange student from the United States, who's spending the last few days of his trip with a host family in Costa Rica. And Sam finds himself immersed in the history of Tronadora. He meets an older woman named Julia who lived in the town and was forced to leave when the waters rose. But she left behind more than just her home and her history. She left behind Mauricio, the love of her life. And thanks to some vivid dreams and some visions and some adventures, Sam discovers that it is his responsibility to connect Julia to all that she lost when the waters rose and submerged her towns. And I love using this book because not only is it a compelling story that exposes students to the natural use of Spanish, but it also connects them to a culture and a community where the language is spoken. It provides great opportunities for extension and more investigation. And there are three themes that I love to explore as we read this book. The first theme is natural beauty. Costa Rica and Nicaragua are countries rich in natural resources: volcanoes, rivers, lakes, animals, jungles. They're all a part of the story. And those resources are a great boost for the economies of these countries and also a great source of pride for the people. For my students who live in Ohio, the idea of natural beauty can be a foreign concept. We can talk about volcanoes and jungles, but there's much more value in being able to see them. So I will often use images to connect students to the story. Photos, videos, Google Earth panoramas. They're simple, but an effective way to connect students to the story and immerse them a little bit more in what is going on. The second theme that I like to explore is that of progress versus conservation. My students live in a culture that is constantly advancing. Improvements to technology and infrastructure are often made. The same is not true in all countries. In Costa Rica, when Arenal Lake was created and hydroelectric power was provided, it was a great step for the country, but it came at a cost. People were forced to relocate and leave their towns. Likewise, when new highways are constructed, they connect people to other parts of the country, they allow more access to tourist locations, they boost the economy, but highways are often built through jungles. And debate is a great hook in our classrooms. If we can get students to think about, what would I do? If we can get them to debate, what is the best plan? We can engage them more in the story and the discussions. Finally, I have found it valuable to explore the theme of discrimination that appears in the book. The relationship between Julia and Mauricio was forbidden because he was from Nicaragua and not from Costa Rica. And discrimination is something that my students understand. It's something that they see in their own communities, but many have never considered the impact of discrimination in other countries. Every country has borders, and every country has challenges. So we will often read articles or watch videos about Central American countries, and we will investigate the perceptions and the treatments of people from other communities, as well as the efforts to build stronger connections. So there's a lot going on in this book, and again, it provides great opportunities for extension. I'm certain you can use it to connect your students to the Spanish language and communities where it is spoken. I hope you enjoy. Also, be sure to check out other titles available from Voces Digital and at my website, bryankandel.com. Thank you and enjoy.